What's up, guys? DB-YGO here with a not quite a deck profile from the GOAT tournament, but a little special treat for you guys. My good buddy David here, who maybe you remember from the Sky Striker deck profile did a couple months back, or a month or so. I don't remember how long ago that was. Not too long ago. But David here has a spicy little thing that he'd like to show you, and I wanted to show you guys this because I think it's amazing. And I haven't played it myself, but I'm going to. Just haven't had the time to do it yet. But David, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what you have and explain a little bit about it.
Yeah, so some of you guys might know that I travel with Ethan Swarton. Shout out to Celestial Cards and Collectibles. When we're traveling, a lot of times, playing the same advanced format match over and over again gets boring. Same thing with playing the same GOAT format match over and over again. Kind of gets boring if you've hashed it out enough times. I wanted to build something that him and I could really enjoy as two players. Also something that was supposed to try and teach my wife with, but she still won't learn no matter how shiny I make it. Shiny cardboard does not tempt her.
Dude, my wife's the same.
But this is a two-player GOAT deck. It's 100 cards. For the basics of the format is both players play from the same deck, graveyard, and banish pile. Everything else is normal GOAT Yu-Gi-Oh, just like we all know and love. But yeah, it's just a two-player deck, 100 cards. I've tried to make it as balanced as possible for both players.
Still follows the list.
Yes, this is actually a fully legal GOAT list too, which is somewhat funny. Mainly because the cards that are banned are there for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
All
right, cool. Thank you, and we'll go ahead and get right into it.
Starting with the big monsters: BLS, Jinzo, Vampire Lord, Mobius, Zaborg, Grand March. So those are your one of big guys.
I'm going to slide you over just a hair.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we're centered.
Perfect. So these are your one of big guys.
Okay.
Whole idea is just to kind of give some variety there. Two of big guys. We have two of Air Knight and two of Chaos Sword. Just stuff that's a little more generic, easier to out, and kind of ultimately a little less impactful than some of these other guys. Air Knight's super good though.
Yes, Air Knight is really good.
All right, getting in, we're going to start with the darks that are normal summonable.
Okay.
We're going to play two Kaiku, two Skilled,
cool,
two Dekoichi. All right, so there's 6 darks so far. Going into the one-ofs, we have Cyberjar, Sangan, Breaker. Oh, whoops. I somehow got that.
Hey, I need this Sangan. You should give that to me.
Not happening. One of darks there, and I apparently came out of order on the two ofs.
Oh, that's all right. It happens.
Yeah. 2 of Night Assailants, 2 of Grey Peeper Spies, 2 of Guard, and then the last is the 2 of Tsukiyomi. Don't play 3 Spies because this gets out of hand, and it's hard to out in this deck sometimes, and the Guards are your targets. So, got those.
So there's a slight bit of fairness in here.
Yeah, it's designed so that way both people, when they play the game, it paces out nicely, and nobody's getting like blown out turn 1, unless you open the nuts. But nobody's like, you open Trinity, you're losing no matter what game you're playing. The only 3 of card in the entire deck is Thunder Dragon. Everything else is a 2 over 1 of. But good. Blade Knights, Asura Priests, Moths. Merchants are the 2 ofs. I think these should be in order, actually.
Okay.
And then Sasuke, Reflect Rounder, DD Warrior Lady for the 1 ofs.
Okay.
Trying to keep a relatively even balance of light and darks. Make sure Power Curve is there for the normal summons. So that way nothing you're doing is feeling like under impact or over impactful in the game. Unless you're like dropping BLS late game or, doing something crazy. Moving on to Earth, we play 2 DD Assailants. I don't know, it's still a good normal summon.
Good card.
Bazoo is OP in this deck. It is so much fun. You can win or lose games based on your Bazoo, as you'll see kind of later in the deck profile. 2 Mystic Swordsman level 2s, because we don't like people setting cards. I mean, it's GOAT format, so everybody's going to set their cards.
Right.
But we want to punish them for that. Exiled Force, Morphing Jar, Injection Fairy Lily. oddly enough, this gets used to out BLS a lot.
This gets what? Sorry.
Used to out BLS a lot.
Oh, yeah, of course it does. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the whole idea with the big cards was I wanted to make sure that whatever got put on the field theoretically could be outed within the deck without like needing to work exceedingly hard. You still have to work for it, and if the other person plays right, they're still going to win, but make sure that there's fair outs to everything.
Gotcha.
And then Waters, Sinister Serpent, and Tribe Infecting.
Imagine 2 players sharing the same Sinister Serpent. That's hilarious.
This is funny, because, if you are not discarding it as, like, a cost for the traps that discard, like, you're setting this, you can get punished and your opponent grabs the Sinister Serpent, but half the time people forget anyway, and that's even better.
I love it.
Some monsters and spells and traps. We have everybody's favorite Knock.
That's right.
Meta.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Patrick Hoban. I'll see you in Colorado. Shout out to 2 Upstart Goblins. 2 Book of Moons.
Oh, so this is a 98 card deck. You lied to me.
100.
No, it's 98.
Oh, yeah, 98. 2 Upstart. 2 Rhodas. 2 Scapegoats. Those are your 2 of spells.
Cool.
One ofs, because they tend to do more than they should. Giant Trunade, because that makes OTKs happen. That fixes boards, that is better in this deck than it should be.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is. Holy cow.
Yeah,
I can see that card could probably single-handedly win someone in the game.
Yeah, sometimes your opponent just gets put in an awkward position where they're discarding or getting rid of stuff that you want, and it can be really good. This is cheeky. The one card that I might cut, but and switch to something else, but it's still fun.
I
sometimes.
assume you have the player who activated it draw the cards first.
Yeah. So turn player always will get priority for any effects that resolve simultaneously.
That makes sense.
Swords, Snatch, Pot, Heavy, Graceful, Premature, MST, and Duo. So all the good one-ofs.
All the fair cards.
Yeah. These are this is why these have to be at 1. Like, Duo was put in there just because it's not right to not have the Trinity in a goat deck.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have any other, like there's no Donzalug, there's no Trap Dust Shoots. This is the only thing that interacts with your opponent's hand besides card destruction, but that's like you trade your own hand and your opponent's hand, so it's a little more fair.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel right to have a goat deck without the Trinity.
I see that.
And there's your spells. Traps. 2 of Dust Shoots.
Dust Tornado?
Or Dust Tornado. Dust Tornado.
Says there's no dust shoots in here.
Yeah.
Says there's dust shoots. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I can speak. It's late.
Words are hard.
Yeah. 2 sacks, 2 Raigeki Breaks, 2 Compulses, 2 Jars of Greed. The card that most of the time will determine games.
Yep.
Punishes or rewards. All depends on which side of the card you're on, typically. Return. The card that says no to what you're doing and still maintains basically the same life point balance. So those are 2 of traps. Everything in there is impactful. That was really the whole point, is just make sure that nothing you draw feels bad.
Yeah.
1 of Magic Jammer.
Interesting.
It's relevant. Sometimes like the spells in the deck, like especially the 1-ofs, like it's, you don't want those to resolve if you're on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's relevant. Mirror Force, Ring, Divine Wrath. Even though it's a neg 1, it's a neg 1 that outs like Chaos Sword, BLS.
It's a good card, regardless.
Stuff like that. Yeah. 7 tools.
I love it.
Yes, you definitely do not. This is the other way you don't die to return.
Don't disrespect that card.
Suicide. This is the suicide card. Maybe we shouldn't say that on YouTube. I don't know. Yes, I have killed myself with this, or been made to kill myself with this. It has happened, and it's hilarious when it does. Bottomless, Torrential, and Call the Haunted. So that is the big deck. It's a lot of fun. Fusion deck is just shiny extra stuff. Gatling Dragon, Last Warrior, King Dragoon, Ojama, Dark Flare Knight, Boltor. We try to play 2 of the good targets just in case. 2 Rio, 2 Reaper, 2 Dark Bolter, the terrible. Yeah.
Fiend Skull?
We do have a Fiend Skull.
Yay.
The rares, because they're not as pretty. And then technically the 3 of in the extra deck.
The man himself.
Yeah. Got to have Thousand Eyes Restrict and Goat. It just doesn't feel right if you don't.
You have to.
But that is the 2-player format. Anytime we're traveling, please do feel free to stop me. Say if you guys want to play a game. It's always on us. But we appreciate everybody that comes and says hi to Celestial Cards and Collectibles.
Yes, I definitely want to play that against you sometime. We still haven't done that, but we will.
We will definitely do
you'll
that.
Come down again. So, David, thank you so much for sharing this with us. It's very cool, and you guys should do the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's a unique one because like anytime you're playing with your friends, or if you have like certain friends that are over all the time,
yeah.
Again, it can get a little grindy to play the same matchups over and over. But building your own 2-player Goat, it doesn't have to be a shiny, which makes it a lot less expensive because common Goat cards are relatively easy to get.
Right.
And it's fun. It's always a different game. You're never really playing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And it means you're always like have something to do if you otherwise are bored.
Yeah.
And that solves boredom. So
sweet. All
awesome.
right.
Thanks,
David.
Dustin. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for sharing. And again, like the video, share the channel, subscribe, get the bell. Shut up, Ethan. Subscribe, get the bell on, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys in the next video.